Hi folks, this is Jay Ward from Ausable Valley Alpacas and Light Livestock Equipment, and we're going to talk today about choke-free feeding of grain. We have a line of hay-saver hay feeders using this mesh that keeps the hay in the feeder more than on the ground. What hay does come out of the feeder often gets caught in this tray, and the tray is the key to the choke-free feeding. Alpaca pellets, like these that we sell from Pool & Grain, are a compressed feed product, and when they get wet, they tend to expand. If there's a large volume of pellets going down their long neck and throat, when they start to expand, there can be some choke that occurs often as the esophagus enters the cavity at the base of the neck. So we like to avoid that. If an alpaca is able to get into a large quantity of grain in one area and grab mouthfuls, that kind of quantity can create choke. So what we're going to do is spread out the feed so they have to work at getting it. So by using the hay-saver feeder, there's a large flat surface, so they have to work at it to find the feed. And by putting it on the hay, they actually have to work the hay around. Now, with the indoor feeders, it's not as critical, but with the outdoor feeders, that hay can get matted from moisture and build up just sort of some residue. But here, we're just trying to keep that hay moving, and by the alpacas working around at it there, the hay moves, and it keeps the hay moving, and they have to work to get the grain. So there's very little instance of choke. In 4 or 5 years, we have not had a single case of choke using this kind of feeding. Now, we would normally be feeding in a lot of areas. I'm only for demonstration using one feeder, and you can see what happens. Everybody clumps up in one area. That can cause some choke because there's too much stress, and they're really working too hard and trying to eat too fast. So one of the ways to feed is to spread it out, and I would normally do that in a regular feeding situation. So these hay-saver feeders from Light Livestock Equipment, as well as saving 20 to 50% of the hay waste, they also provide a choke-free way to feed grain. All available from Light Livestock Equipment, and thank you to Lucy Ward, my assistant today and videographer from Ausable Valley Alpacas.